Hello everyone, it's Alex
and Amy
and Rusty,
the Cybertruck. So after living like canyon nomads the last 3 weeks with beautiful views at the Grand Canyon, our neighbors started questioning if we were part of the rock formations there. So I thought it's about time for us to head out. So here we go.
Where do we go?
That's a good question. Payson.
Payson. We're going to Payson. And what are we going to do in Payson?
We are going to settle there at a campground. We're not boondocking anymore for 1 week because somebody is going to Tennessee and we had to be closer to the airport there.
Tennessee. And what are we going to do in Tennessee?
He is going to see 16 houses in 3 nights with a realtor there.
Well, that's what I call relaxation.
Yes, that's his idea of relaxing after boondocking for 3 weeks.
Good morning, my friends. We just left our boondocking of the past almost 3 weeks. That was the longest we ever stayed. We had hookups, literally boondocking. We loved it. Rusty, the Cybertruck, performed amazingly well. And we're towing the Airstream, and this is what the user interface looks. So Amy, can you please zoom in here so you can have clear the picture of what everything looks like, so I can explain to our friends how real towing life of 7,500 pounds looks like into Rusty's Cybertruck computer looks like. So we left the campground at 73%, and these over here that says today, this is how many miles we have driven so far from our boondocking site. So we have driven 8.3 miles and we have consumed 6 kilowatt hours, and our consumption right now is as you can see is 717.7 watt hours per mile, and I will explain what all these geeky numbers mean, but this is what in simple words I want to show you. This is my GPS, and this is how Rusty Cybertruck knows exactly what we need to do in terms of charging, right? So, like I said, we left at about 72%, and Rusty knows that, okay, Alex, don't be dumb again, like you didn't listen to me on the way to the Grand Canyon. Plan accordingly. So, our first charging is going to be in Williams, Arizona at 8:37 a.m., which is in about 45 minutes. Here it is. See, it says 43 minutes, 43 miles. We're doing 60 miles an hour, and we're going to arrive at the supercharger in Williams at 27%. So we're not going to arrive there. We're not going to crawl at 1%, as you guys can see, right? I mean, we're going to have 27% into the tank, which is a little more than a quarter, which is not too bad, right? And there, we're gonna charge for 1 hour. It says 1 hour and 6 minutes, but I'm pretty confident probably 50 minutes is gonna be enough. And we're gonna take Rusty, the Cybertruck, at 90%. So we're gonna arrive at 27. Rusty tell us, okay, if you charge at 100%, you're gonna arrive in Payson at 5%. I don't need to arrive at Payson at 5% because, again, I can manage my speed, and I can go 58, 59, 57. I don't have to go 65 miles an hour. Remember, I always tow at 60, but the computer calculates the arrival as if I would drive the speed limit. But because I do 5 or 10 below the speed limit, I can literally, instead of charge for 1 hour and 6 minutes to 100%, like Rusty wants me to, I can just charge to 90%, which is almost like 40 minutes. Remember, the last 10% takes always longer to finish. And again, I will explain why on a separate video. Now we want to focus on the user interface. So basically, what we want to do is we're gonna spend 45 minutes in Williams, Arizona, charge to 90%, and then we're gonna make it all the way to our campground in Payson, which is about 125 mile stretch from the supercharger to the campground. And then obviously we have 50 amps, we have full hookups. Amy really requested full hookups for the next spot. And that's the trip for the day. Very easy, very simple, and I hope we will not have the same chaos like the last time, right? What do you think, Roxy? Roxy? What do you think, Roxy? Say hi to YouTube. Hi. Hi, guys. Hi, I'm sleeping. Hi. That's Roxy. So we're getting to the supercharger, and we are about to show you how we supercharge.
Now turn right.
Without disconnect the Airstream. There you go. All right, let's see. I think here we're good. Again, we're blocking more than I was planning to, but it's very early, and there is almost nobody. All right, so as you can see, we're blocking how many stalls? We're blocking 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we're blocking 5 stalls out of the 12. So there is 12 stalls here, and we're blocking 5. But usually we block maybe 2 or 3. But we have this F-150 lighting over there. He's charging as well, and he's actually, as you can see, he's blocking 2 because of how the charging port is on the Ford lightings. But this is how I was planning to do it actually. Follow us, Amy. And that's how it looks. As you can see, Rusty, the Cybertruck, is charging. So my plan was, Amy, can you come here? Thank you. So basically, this is my plan. I was planning to go like very close. Can you see, like very close to that building and make a right and actually park where that lighting is?
Yes.
And in that way I wouldn't have blocked all these chargers. I would probably have blocked just 2. That's how usually we do it. But anyways, as you can see, it's like 8:45 in the morning, and if you can see around you, there is nobody. So still there's like 4 available, and we're gonna hang out here. I mean, Amy's gonna go for her walk. I have some work to do, and catch up with you in a few minutes. So we've been here already for 30 minutes. Our charging is gonna be ready in about 10 minutes. And so far, absolutely nobody has showed up. Amy is walking with Roxy. They're trying to get their 3 miles down. And still about 6, 7 available stalls if somebody wants to actually park. But like I mentioned earlier, that was my goal, was to go over there and make a right, and I would block just those 2, and the Airstream would be on a 90-degree angle between Rusty, and I would only block 2. So this is the only supercharger we need, and after leaving here, we're gonna have a 128-mile stretch to our campground, and we don't need to stop for any other charging. We're gonna just go straight to the campground from here. And I'm gonna show you right now the computer and how it looks like. All right, so this is how amazing it is. If, let's say I would live right now we have 77%, right? Again, it says 35 minutes to continue the trip, but this is not exactly true, and I will explain why. So let's assume I live right now. See here, it says Payson campground, arrival at -11. That means that if I live right now and I follow the speed limit, which is 75 miles an hour, again, we only do 60 when we tow, but let's assume I do 75. I wouldn't be able to make it because I would arrive there at my -11%. But because we only do 60 miles an hour, that -11% is gonna become -9 as we go. like as we tow. -7, -5, and eventually it's gonna go to 0, and then it's gonna say +1, +2. That means that I will make it to the campground with extra juice in the battery pack. And then we can even readjust our speed. And then on top of that, the computer would give me a message and tell me, okay, in order to make it to the next destination, you need to follow that speed. So the computer literally tells me the maximum speed I can go in order to make it. And it's not a ridiculous speed. It's like maybe, 55 or 57 or 59 or 64 miles an hour. So it's not like you need to go at 25 miles an hour and crawl in order to make it. No, it's pretty good. So as you can see right now, we're at 80%, and the computer says 30 minutes remaining to continue trip. But again, the computer thinks that I'm gonna be doing 75 miles an hour towing the Airstream, and that's not gonna be the case. So what we're gonna do here is the plan is to go to 90%, probably another 5 or 10 minutes. The total would be 45 minutes stop. Very nice break for us, and we're gonna continue our trip. Super simple. Lake Mary in Arizona. We just left the supercharger, and as you can see, the computer tells me that we're gonna arrive at the campground with 1% left in the battery. However, it's gonna be probably close to 5 to 10% because we're gonna be doing below the speed limit. So as you can see, we have some rolling hills, and one of the beauty towing with Rusty, the Cybertruck. Even if you go up, even if you go down, you literally don't have to touch the brake, you don't have to touch the gas, should I say gas or throttle. The movements on the steering wheel are like minors, literally driving with one finger. So we are on the State Route 87, and oh my. Beautiful, beautiful country road. If you never have been here, highly recommend it. It's a very scenic road from Flagstaff to Payson, Arizona. Flagstaff is here. Payson, it's pretty windy. It's pretty windy, but it's beautiful.
Got it.
And is this hail?
I believe so. It's 47 out.
Yep.
It's not snow.
Yep, a little bit of hail, because why not?
Exactly. We've had snow. We've had crazy winds. Put in a thunderstorm or two now.
I can say that every time we travel, we always hit any type of weather.
Except hurricanes.
Correct, we haven't hit that yet.
Or a tornado.
Yeah.
Well, no. Last year we did have a tornado warning when we were in New Mexico.
Yes, we did. We were in a campground though.
And they were like, seek shelter immediately.
Yep, and it's kind of interesting being in the Airstream and having tornado warnings.
Going off is not a really good feeling.
Yeah.
All you did was sit there with your ice cream and ate out of the ice cream container.
And you know what I was doing actually that specific afternoon? And again, I'm very serious. I'm not making this up. I literally ordered Rusty that day.
You did.
I mean, even though I changed my mind 100 times from that time till the time we got delivery.
True.
Anyways. So, yeah. No, I think that's no. I think that's...
It's 46 degrees,
46,
though.
no, it's hail. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hail.
It's hail. So this is what is really lovely driving something like a Cybertruck. This is a 6% grade going downhill, and not only I don't have to touch my brakes, in the matter of fact, so far 150 miles into the trip, I have only touched my brakes once. Rusty does something called regenerative braking, and basically, like for example now, it's slowing down. We're going downhill and it is slowing down because of the motors. And then what happens is Rusty is putting juice, electrons, how I like to say, back into the battery pack. Basically it's charging the battery. And oh my, look how beautiful that is. Super nice. So yeah, we're going downhill. I'm not even touching my brakes. Pretty much what a diesel driver would say, engine braking. I would say yes, this is engine braking. But the main difference with my engine braking is that I put power back into the battery. Energy, not power, sorry. I mean energy back into the power pack. So yeah, we're going downhill, 6% grade. I'm not even touching my brakes. And you can see here how much energy we put into the battery pack. See, now it's green. It's fully charging. This is how good an EV is actually on a twisty road going up and down, which is also very important. Like if you go up and then you go down, the extra energy you spend going uphill, you actually put it back into the battery pack going downhill, like we do right now. We are about 14 miles since the supercharging, and we've been doing 60 miles an hour like we always do. And as you can see here, state of charge already went from 1% to 5% at arrival. Like I said earlier, I think this is going to go close to 10. So technically, even if we do the speed limit, which is 75 miles an hour, we will still arrive there with probably close to 5%. Actually, this is what that means. Like, we're going to arrive at 5% if we do the speed limit, which is 75. But we're doing 60. And since charge, as you can see, the consumption is at 878.4, and I think we're gonna be close to 800 watt hours per mile in the next 1 hour. And I calculate my range based on consumption of 850 watt hours per mile. And again, we're gonna do a separate video describing all the technical details. Rusty again has me the message here, as you can see, stay below 58 miles an hour to reach destination above 6%. And I'm confident that even if we do 60, we're gonna still reach the destination above 6%. Remember, it's super conservative, and it takes does all the calculations based on the speed limit. We're waiting for the update from the AI team, Tesla AI team, to correct those things. And as you can see here again, we're gonna arrive in Payson campground at 11:54. And our check-in is not before 1, so we still have a lot of time to kill there. And it's only 110 miles away. 2 hours, no more stops. And we're doing pretty good. Here you can see our battery, 78%. We left the supercharger at 91%. But again, range anxiety, not even close. Why? Because the computer tells you all you need to know. And that's what you need to know. So, pretty easy. 15 minutes later, and Rusty, the Cybertruck, is at 70%. We have hit some good hills, and as you can see, our state of charge at the campground is going to be almost 10%. It says 9, but yeah. And since charge, 147. and like I said, this would be below 850, and it will. And I haven't slowed down. We're doing 60 all the way, and so that 90%, again, it means that if we do the speed limit, which right now is 75 miles per hour, we're gonna arrive there with 9% left. Looks like Roxy loves Rusty, the Cybertruck. Hey Roxy, are you comfortable back there?
Say hi to Roxy, our adorable Merle Australian Shepherd. She is always the heart of this channel and the real star. She loves sticks, but you cannot forget about her greenies, as that is her daily ritual. She is also fond of Rusty, the Cybertruck. Having naps while we travel. Now, towing a 28-foot Airstream with Rusty the Cybertruck sounds something like out of a sci-fi road trip movie. It's surprisingly smooth until you realize you've become the main attraction at every gas station. People are staring at us like we're towing a spaceship, and honestly, they're not entirely wrong. It has the torque of like a T-Rex on caffeine, yet it somehow still drives like a luxury limo. Payson, Arizona, known as that place we go to when Alex decides to impulsively fly across the country. Because I guess that's restful for him.
Spoiler alert, I missed every single flight, but this is a story for next episode.
Details on that later, because why not leave a little suspense? We decided to move to Tennessee.
And somewhere in the middle of this road trip chaos, why not make a pit stop in Tennessee to pick up the keys for our new home?
Because why settle when you can keep moving, right? Roxy, on the other hand, she is living her best life.
Next episode, I'm flying to Tennessee to check out some new houses. Spoiler alert!
He missed almost every single flight coming back and going.
Yep, but that's a story for episode 4.
Yes, so stay tuned.
Good.
Yes, see how that looks?
We have arrived to our destination, very smooth drive. And not only we have arrived, but we have arrived with 21% left in the battery. And like I mentioned earlier, the computer was telling us arrival at 1% when we left our supercharger, and we actually end up getting here with almost a quarter of the battery left. And our efficiency was amazing. I was actually calculating at about 850 watt-hour per mile, and as you can see here, for the entire day, 716.6 watt-hour per mile, and I was actually calculated 850, and since the supercharger, 632 watt-hour per mile. And for the EV enthusiast, this is actually really amazing. It's almost 1.8 mile per kilowatt hour towing, 7,500 pounds. Now, again, we didn't have many interstates. It was just country road. Speed limit was 50 to 60 miles per hour. No wind for the most part. We had a little bit of headwind, maybe 4 knots, 4 miles per hour, I should say. Overall, super smooth. And we have arrived with a lot to spare. And I think it took us like 2 hours and 10 minutes from the supercharger. And doing over the speed limit in a lot of places, actually.
Yep.
And cars on the back couldn't even keep up. Made it!
I mean, you...
What do you mean?
I don't know what I mean.